and happy Thursday. I'm Tisha, and this is Tisha Talks Live at 4:45. And today I am joined by the lovely Kim Mylls. She's also here in Arizona, or are you in California? I know
Nope,
you kind
I'm
of
in
bounce back and
Arizona.
forth. You're in
In Arizona
Arizona.
today.
And Kim is the co-founder of Recreate. She's also the co-founder of Kiss Corporate Goodbye. How many of you like that saying? I love that term for her company. And today we're talking about, and no, this is not a typo, recreate and recreate. And I love this topic. And, Kim, thank you so much for joining me. A little bit of housekeeping for people who are tuning in live. You can use the comment box and chat with us at any time if you have a question for Kim or myself. Also, say hi if you're watching this live. I know we have some people joining us right now. Say hi. Tell us where you're from. Good to see you. And if you're watching the replay, we do go back and check the comments. So make sure if you do have a question that you ask there, and we will get back to it once this is done. But Kim, it's so nice to see you. It's been a while.
It has been, and it's lovely to see you. I love seeing you on social media. So I feel like we've chatted a lot more than we probably have because I feel like I know what you're up to.
Yeah, I am always posting, always sharing. And now I'm doing this Tisha Talks Live, so you see me a lot more, a lot more.
That's it. Love it,
All
love
right.
it.
Well, I know that you are up to big things, and it seems like that's kind of what Tisha Talks has been lately. It's like that push you need to make it happen, to keep on going. And you have this new business that you've dived into on Recreate and Recreate. And I want to know from you, how did that come about? And what were you doing when you came up with this awesome, brilliant idea of yours?
Well, as you know, this has been quite the crazy year. And a girlfriend and I, we decided that we just needed a break and we really wanted to take a little vacation. She had planned to walk the Camino in Spain, and of course that was canceled. And she was feeling like she just wanted to get out of town and just have some time for herself. And I was in a position for the first time that I was like, yes, sign me up. I'll go wherever you want to go. And then we realized that we have spectacular places in our backyard. So we went up to Sedona for a couple days. We went to Enchantment Resort, and we really just went to have fun, unwind. We never intended to start a business, but here's what sort of happens.
I have to applaud that because that's what happens, right?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't our intention. Our intention was to relax and just unwind and just get our lives back from the chaos that has been 2020, right? And
Right.
so we were, chatting by the pool. We were talking about ideas. We were in this just relaxed, magical place. And all of a sudden she had, I've always wanted to do this. And I'm like, I have always wanted to do this. What about this? What about this? And, in the next hour, we had kind of come up with what would be our ideal business and how could we create a legacy? How could we create a better life and a better world? And we were both, I hate to say it, like 50. And even though we didn't look like it or we act like it, we did start to have that internal sort of tick-tock. We've been really successful, but we were like, okay, this is our next phase, our last phase. How can we really make an impact? And so, when you're in that kind of creative space and you're recreating, kind of magical things happen. And then you come home and you're like, okay, was that a good idea or not? And so we decided, right? Because you're like,
was that the wine talking?
oh, that's perfect. Was it the wine? Was it the heat? Was it the red rocks? And so we did a focus group when we came home, and we started to ask women what they are missing in their lives and what they wanted. And we really found that fun, that recreating was really high up there. There were three things. It was having that fun. That fun, seems to have been missing, especially a lot this year, right? We've been so busy trying to stay healthy, stay sane, all of those things, right? And everything's just been going on. So we found that they wanted to have fun, like the kind of fun that you have in your 20s, just having a blast where you're not thinking about things and you're not worried about everything. then they also wanted to really like level up and be surrounded by like-minded people and just be around that group of people that were looking to leave a legacy, to make a difference, to make an impact. And then the last thing was accountability. They wanted to have that community and that accountability. And so from all of that, we decided to create a 9-month action tank that has both lots of opportunities to really recreate and take any dream you have to a reality, but there is a ton of recreation involved too, because that's where you really get that open mindset and get to really spark that creativity. And that's where magic happened for us. So we're going to bring that back to everyone else who wants to play with us.
Oh, I love this idea. And I will say that I think you are hitting the right market for this. I am not in my 50s, but I have women, especially my mother, I don't know if she's watching this, but where they feel that their life is just not as fulfilled as they really want it to be. So they're lacking that. They're lacking those deep relationships, that they might have had in their career at one point. And they're
Right.
lacking the, like you said, how do I make an impact? How do I leave the legacy? What am I doing with this? I like that even when we were talking offline, you talked about like bucket lists, because bucket lists are a big thing for me.
Yep.
And you were inviting these women to cross these things off your bucket list. Like, this is a time where you take control of your life and have fun and do it with people that you want to be around.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's funny because I think from your 30s to your 50s, you're climbing the corporate ladder, you're focused on your career, you're focused on family, and you're go, go, go. And so this is kind of a time where for a lot of people in their 50s, their kids are self-sufficient or older, they've done the career, and now it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
And a lot of people do sort of feel that stuck and unfulfilled, and I've accomplished my goals. I mean, and that's where I was. I love my career. I love what I do. I've accomplished, some of my big goals, but I just felt that I was made for more. And then when we started talking to other people, they're like, no, that's what I want to do too.
Yeah, I really like that line too. Made for more. That should be your tagline. That right there. This is this creative spark coming out. I want to say hi to a few people that are joining us. Ken out of Phoenix, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Kim and I are happy to have you here. And of course, Bruce, the guy in the blue shirt. You're wearing blue too, Kim, it looks like.
And
yes.
Yeah, it's a blue day.
It's the blue day. I told Bruce, I'm like, we will be wearing blue, or I will be wearing blue. He's like, loving those blue patterns. So thank you, Bruce, for joining us from Southern Cal, my good friend out there. Yeah, I made for more. I think that we go through that. I know I am one of those people too, Kim, and correct me if I think you're like this too. I think we're wired the same way, where once you've achieved something, you're like, all right, cross that off, next level, here we go. What are we doing now? I found that a lot in my career where I'm like, I'm getting tired of this. I've done this. I've done this. I've already done this successfully. And now I'm ready for the next challenge. Do you think that way too?
Yes, I think it's that fulfillment. I think a lot of us get fulfilled by accomplishing that goal, and then it's like, what's next? And I think there's that balance of recreating and recreating and finding that fulfillment and just staying that path. I think, fulfillment's all about growth and learning and creating, which is why, this business is about recreating, but it is about, like what you said, we do have some really big incentives for people to check off the things off their bucket list. And it's about remembering all those things that you wanted to do that maybe got put on the side. And I think for so many of us, we're going, and we just forget to dream big. And we have these dreams that we want and we want to accomplish. We just might not know how to get them, or what the first couple steps are, or who to connect with to help us achieve those goals. So that's our plan, is to equip you with the best experts, to equip you with like the most fun you could have, a great community, and to really be able to just take that dream to a reality. And for a lot of people, they're not even sure what their dream is. And so it's just about being around a group of inspiring people. You know, like when I started with Melissa, we didn't have this dream and we didn't go to Sedona to like make a plan, but we were inspired by each other. And that's the environment that we really want to create.
Yeah, so we have some comments coming up from all the guys in the house. Bruce saying, the older I get, then I find less is more. Creating content here is the big new accomplishment here. Yes, I agree. I am more of a less is more. I am like the sell the house, get the RV, like pack it down to 2 suitcases, and that's my life. Like that's what I want. That's my goal in life is
I think
minimize.
that's the other thing is like, you know, we go, and then you reach this certain age. And for me, it was 50 that I was like, okay, wait a minute. What do I really want? Is less more? What's my vision for the future? How do I want the second half of my life to be? And I think it doesn't matter what age you are, if you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, but it is important to take time to recreate. And it is important to take time to really just envision what you want your life to look like. And if it's a year from now, 5 years from now, it doesn't matter. And, you know, I do that exercise over and over. Okay, what do I want this year to look like? What do I want next year to look like? And I think we just forget about, you know, when we're kids, we're like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a, you know, teacher. We have so many dreams as we're kids, and then life just happens and we still have them. We just don't tell people, or we forget about them. And so that's what I feel like recreating really allows you to do when you're in that free space, when your cell phone's turned off, when you have like time outdoors or whatever your jam is, right? That's when you can get into that clear space.
Yes. All right. So we have a couple more questions. Thanks to the guys that are joining us. Steve Ricks also out here. He's big into the imagination zone. Actually lives out in Hawaii, but is here in Phoenix. And of course, we've got Mike Dorfler. Thank you. Thanks for coming back, Mike. Mike is one of my regulars that comes on. He said, great segment with Kim. And then this question from Ken, he asked, Kim, do you feel that as we mature, we value the fulfillment over the monetary gains? Great question, Ken. You're so full of these brilliant questions.
You know, and I think that's so true because, I mean, I know in my 20s and 30s, I was all about climbing the corporate ladder. I was all about, you know, financial success. And then the older and more, I hate that word mature. It makes me feel so old. Like the word that my mom would use, you know, you're being very mature, but you're absolutely right. You know, I think they both can go hand in hand. I don't think you have to have fulfillment without money or money without fulfillment, but I just think the priorities switch. And I think everything is about what are you prioritizing? You know, what's the most important thing to you? What are your values? And what is going to bring you that joy? And what's going to spark that creativity and fun for you?
I would also say, just off of Ken's comment and what you mentioned right now, Kim, that we get so tied up in the monetary and how am I going to monetize this? But remember, guys, that if you are doing what you're meant to be doing, it's purpose driven, you love what you do, that all starts to flow. It's that magnetic attraction that we bring in. And it really does feel, and I know Steve will back me on this, but when you are doing something that you love, you're really not working. Like you're having fun. I mean, Kim is talking about working with women 50s on up and helping them fulfill and, you know, do more things with their life, you know, leave those legacies. And I think that you are so passionate and inspired by that, like I mentioned, the money comes when you're doing what you really love.
And I think, you know, it's funny because when we started this business, I mean, we came up with this, you know, at the beginning of August, and by the end of August, we had a business, and it was easy and fun. I mean, we worked hard, and we put together an amazing program with amazing people and got terrific partners. But the whole process was easy and fun, and I think that's when you know you're on the right path. Mm-hmm. It's kind of how I felt when I met my husband. it was easy and it was fun. It wasn't easy, but it was an easy day, right?
He wasn't easy. It was easy. Let's just put that
Yes.
into the context. All
Oh,
right. So we got a couple of great comments here. Bruce saying, you talked about mature, but saying blend of mature and imagination. Very
oh, that's
fun.
good. I like
You
it.
know, I am really loving what you said, Kim, about recreate, because so many times we hear self-care, like we hear a lot of those verbs, and
Mhm.
I really love that recreate. Like I'm about to recreate.
There you go.
I'm about to unplug, and that's what this is. Like this is finding time for yourself where you can
Mhm.
start to be, like Steve mentioned, in the IZ and the imagination zone, creating and doing things that really fulfill you with people that are like-minded, like you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why we like each other, Trit.
Awesome. All right, Kim. So, how can people find out about it if they're interested or if they know people? Like, give us a little shameless plug before we wrap it up for
Yep.
today.
We are interviewing people now for our program, and you can go to recreatenow.org, click on our Calendly link, schedule a time to chat with us, and learn more.
Good. All right. Easy as that, everyone.
Easy as that.
Recreatenow.org. My special guest again, Kim Mylls, co-founder of Recreate. Thank you so much, Kim. And thank you, everybody, for joining in. If you have a question or a comment, you can always reach out to Kim. Kim, how can people find you aside from Recreate
Yep,
Now? Where do they find you?
you can find me on LinkedIn at Kimberly Mylls. You can find me on Facebook at Kimberly Rose Mylls, and either one, direct message me. I love to chat and connect and see how I can best serve and support other people.
All right. Well, thank you, Kim. This is going to round out this session of Tisha Talks Live, and I will be back next Tuesday. So check the schedule for that. And thanks again, everybody, for taking the time today to sit with me and Kim. Always fun. Love the
Always fun,
comments.
Tisha. You're the best. And I love the video at the beginning. It's like,
Oh,
it's so
yes.
Tisha.
Ah. You know
So cute.
what's funny is when I started this journey of doing these videos, Kim, I asked a friend if that was too much, and she's like, "Yeah, I think it should be like your face." And I was like, "I kind of like this animated. Like it's fun, it's bubbly, it's girly, it's my
I love
pink,
it.
logo that just like spins out of control. Like that is me." And I always say, like, the greatest compliment I get is when someone says, when I see you online, when I see you on social media, when I see you in person, same person. Everything you do is so consistent. And that's why I love personal branding.
Yep, I love it too. And
Yeah.
Bruce,
So
connect with me, Bruce, because I did just get an RV, so we can talk about taking the mobile camper with you.
yes, how fun. All right, I'm gonna do a quick shameless plug too. Thanks, Kim. For everybody that is struggling with their personal brand, I am hosting a personal brand builder challenge. I know some of you are already signed up that are watching this. Personalbrandbuilderchallenge.com, and that is kicking off next week. And Kim, thanks for sharing it out with your network too. I know a lot of people need help, and I will keep sending people your way who need to recreate and recreate.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, guys.